Java inheritance. In this video, we discuss about the inheritance concept in Java. I am Mrs. S. Vanitha. Inheritance is a mechanism in Java by which one class is allowed to inherit the features of another class. The class whose features are inherited is known as superclass or a base class or parent class. The class that inherits the other class is known as subclass or derived class or extended class or child class. So, inheritance is a mechanism using which one class will acquire the attributes and methods of another class. The subclass can add its own attributes and methods in addition to the superclass fields and methods. The inheritance helps in code reusability. The main advantage of inheritance is code reusability. The child class can reuse the code defined in the parent class without redefining it or rewriting it. The inheritance leads to less development and maintenance cost. Now we discuss about the types of inheritance. First one is single inheritance. In single inheritance, subclass inherit the features of one superclass. So here class B inherit the features of superclass A. So it inherit the features of one superclass. One class will acquire the properties and attributes and methods of one superclass. So that is the single inheritance. Class A is the name of the superclass. A is the name of the superclass. Class B. B is the name of the subclass extends A. A is the superclass, B is the subclass. This is an example or this is the single inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, a derived class will inherit a base class and as well as the derived class also act as the base class to other class. Here we can see A is the superclass for class B and B is the superclass for class C. So, class A, class B is the name of the subclass which extends class A and again class C extends class B. Now here the B is the parent class or base class for class C. So this is an example for multi-level inheritance. We will see the example program now. So we discuss about a example for single inheritance. So the name of the class is employee. This is the name of the base class. We define a method. The name of the method is display. The return type is void. It will display a message. Base class is employee. And this is, as I said, this is the base class and then the derived class. The name of the derived class is regular employee. Extends. Extends is the keyword used in inheritance. So the name of the base class employee. Here we define another method display regular employee and then within the main method we define the object. The object name is E. Regular employee E equal to new regular employee. So we call the two methods E dot display regular employee E dot display. Okay, we can see the display is the superclass method and display regular employee is the subclass method. So both the methods we can call here and we will see the execution of this program now. We will execute this program and see the output. We are able to get the result. So E dot display regular employee. So it will call this method. And this is the message printed here. Regular employee is the subclass. So we are able to get the output. And again it calls E dot display. So this is the method. And base class is employee. We are able to execute this program successfully. Now we discuss one example for multi-level inheritance. The name of the base class is employee. And regular employee is the subclass of employee and again part-time regular employee is the subclass of regular employee. So this is an example for multi-level inheritance. So the employee is the superclass for our parent class for regular employee. Regular employee is the superclass or parent class for part-time regular employee. Here we define a method called display and it will display this message. And here within this regular employee class we define a method. The name of the method is display regular employee and we are displaying the string or this message, and then again we define a method display part-time employee within this class part-time regular employee. So within the main method we create the object, the name of the object that is part-time regular employee E. E is the name of the object or instance of the class equal to new part-time regular employee, and we call the three methods which we defined here. So we will see the demo for this particular program. We will execute this program and see the output. So we are able to get the output. As I said, there are three methods: display regular employee, display, and display part-time employee, and all the messages are printed successfully. So display regular employee, here we can see the message that is regular employee is the subclass. So first this message is printed or displayed, then we call display. So the display is the method which we define inside the superclass employee. So base class is employee. So we are able to get this message successfully. In the same manner we are able to get this result. Now we discuss hierarchical inheritance. It is one of the type or one of the inheritance type. In hierarchical inheritance, one class serves as a superclass or base class for more than one subclass. So, for example, class A is the superclass for class B and class C. So, class A is the superclass, class B extends A. B is the subclass and A is the superclass. Again, the same superclass acts as the superclass for class C. Class C is the subclass, extends A is the superclass. So this is an example for hierarchical inheritance. Multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. When one class inherits multiple classes, it is known as multiple inheritance. But a class can implement one or more. Now here we can implement one or more interfaces. That is, a multiple inheritance can be achieved through interface concept. So the class C, it inherits both the classes A and B, but this is not supported in Java. In the same manner, this is hybrid inheritance. Both this are not supported in Java. Instead of this, interface concept is used. Next we see one example for hierarchical inheritance. So the base class name is employee and we define a method inside that, and regular employee is the base class, extends is the keyword, employee is the superclass. This is the subclass and this is the superclass. Here we define a method display regular employee, and then again part-time regular employee extends employee. So this is again in the superclass and this is the subclass. Part-time regular employee is the subclass. So the employee acts as a base class to two different classes, regular employee and part-time regular employee. So this is an example for hierarchical inheritance. And we defined one method display inside the employee and another method display regular employee and display part-time employee and printing some message. And within the main method we create the object. So here we are creating the two objects because for these two classes it inherits the superclass employee, so we have to create the instance for these two classes E and E1, and we call the three methods which we defined here. We will execute this program and see the result now. We will execute. So we are able to get the result. The object has been created E and E1. E dot display regular employee. So irregular employee is the subclass. This is the first message, and then we call display. In the display we are printing the message. Base class is employee, so it is getting printed. And then the last one is display part-time employee. So it is also printed here. So here we can note down the employee act as the superclass or parent class for both the subclasses regular employee and part-time employee. Now we discuss one more example. This is an example for inheritance. So the name of the base class is employee, and we declare the variables ID, name, salary. The ID as of type integer, name string, salary float. And here we define the constructor. The name of the constructor is employee, and this start ID equal to ID, this start name equal to name, this start salary equal to salary. So this is the constructor, and this keyword is used here. And here we define a method display. We increase the salary by 1000, and this method will return the value ID, name and salary. The constructor is used to initialize the object. So we are assigning the values here, and we define a method. The name of the method is display. It increases the salary by 1000 and return all these three data items ID, name and salary to the calling point. And then this is the derived class regular employee extends employee. And here, as I said already, the inherited class or the subclass will have its own attributes. So total days or total number of days the employee worked, it is declared as integer variable. And then here we declare the constructor, the name of the constructor regular employee, and then here we can see super ID comma name comma salary. So it will call the base class constructor. The super keyword is used to call the invoke the base class constructor and initialize the for initialization. And then this start total days equal to total days. Here override the parent class method. Here we can see one thing, that is the display method. Already we defined the display method in the parent class or base class. Again we override this method. So we can see the same signature in the parent class as well as in the child class. So here it override the parent class. It is override the parent class and it returns super.display. It will immediately call this method and it will display the values. So here it uses the same signature. So this concept is called as overriding. It override the parent class method, and here we call super.display. Super.display, it will call this method and it will increment the salary and return the value to this calling point. And the driver class, within the main method we create the object. The name of the object is E, and the constructor through the constructor the arguments we specify 100. Coacher is the name of the employee, 70,000 is the salary, and 20 is the total number of days worked. System.out.println E.display. So from here we call this method. So we call this method. The control will come to this place, and from here again the control will be transferred to this location when the statement is executed. So we will execute this program and see the output now. So we are able to see the result. 100 is the employee ID, coacher is the name of the employee, and the salary. The salary, if you see here, it is 70,000, and here we incremented. So incremented by 1000, 71,000, and we declare it as float value. So it is displayed like that, and 20 is the number of days worked, total days worked. So we are able to get the result successfully. Now we see some of the important points to be noted while using the inheritance. The object has no superclass. The object class is present in java.lang package. Every class in Java is directly or indirectly derived from the object class. If a class does not extend any other class, then it is a direct child class of object. And if it extends other class, then it is a indirectly derived class. In absence of any other explicit superclass, every class is implicitly a subclass of the object class. When a subclass object is created, a separate object of superclass will not be created. A superclass can have any number of subclasses, but a subclass can have only one superclass in Java. A subclass inherits all the members such as attributes, methods and nested classes from its superclass. But the constructor of the superclass can be invoked by the subclass. The constructor can be invoked from the subclass. A subclass does not inherit the private members of its parent class. But if the superclass has public or protected methods like getter and setter for accessing its private attributes, then the subclass can also use that methods. The inherited field can be used directly like any other attribute or field. We can declare new attributes in the subclass that are not in the superclass. We can create a method in subclass which has the same signature as the method in the superclass. It is called as overriding. We have discussed an example for this already. We can write a new static method in the subclass that has the same signature as one in the superclass, thus hiding it. We can declare new methods in the subclass that are not in the superclass. We can write a superclass constructor that invokes the constructor of the superclass either implicitly or by using the keyword super. A subclass does not inherit the private members of its parent class. When a class is declared as final, it cannot be inherited. So, when an object of the subclass is created, a copy of all methods and attributes of the superclass acquire the memory in this object. By using the object of the subclass, we can also access the members of the superclass. When subclass object is created, a separate object of superclass object will not be created. So, I hope you understand the demo.